Welcome everyone to this week's weekly live Q&A. Every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can come here and get your questions answered. Do not stay stuck, or you can be a featured member spotlight like I have Miss Kenya today, but we're going to introduce her in just a little bit. So just want to take care of our monthly announcements. Do not forget that we have our monthly community networking event the first Tuesday of every month. We just had our for August last month, but no worries. We do have one coming up in September. Make sure that you join us for that and invite others. Also, I want this to be the #1 community for Parallel-Preneurs. So invite your Parallel-Preneur pals, your business bestie, your CEO friends to our community so I can love on them as well. Also, if you are struggling in your business and you're stuck on clarity on who you serve or how you serve them, how pricing and packaging, your lead strategy, you're not confident in your selling skills, you don't want to feel salesy, you feel like it's icky, slimy, sleazy, or gross, we need to have a conversation. And you can do that by going to bit.ly/book-with-Nev and select discovery session. And we can have a conversation on what it'd be like to increase your clarity, your confidence, in your cash in 90 days or less. Now, I would like to introduce to some and present to others Miss Kenya. Welcome to our live Q&A. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm blessed and highly favored and deeply loved. That's what my mama says all the time. We get it from my mama, don't we, girl?
Absolutely.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about yourself personally as well as professionally, hon.
All right. So personally, I am a single mother of 3 handsome boys, 19, 17, and 7. The Lord was playing games when he had the 7-year-old. So yeah. Let's see. I am the oldest of 4. I'm originally from a small town called Green Level, North Carolina, but I've been in North Carolina all my life. Currently, I reside in Greensboro with my children. Professionally, I relocated from Green Level to Greensboro for a business opportunity with Lincoln Financial Group here in Greensboro. Recently, I got my agent license or my producer license with life insurance and annuities about 6 years ago. Was doing that with the company. And then in May this year, I decided to just go ahead and do it on my own. So I am an independent financial consultant with life, health, and annuity services. And that's just me in a nutshell.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about these services that you offer. Is there a particular person that, of course, I'm sure we all can use some financial assistance and some insurance, but is there a certain person that normally kind of gravitates to you that you work very well with that you can tell us a little bit more about?
Yes, it's typically, and I hate to say it, it's typically those who have just recently lost a loved one. It puts us all in a time of reflection where we're like, hey, we need to go ahead and plan ahead and what have you, or the new parent who has new children and they want to get their children updated with some insurance, or the newly married couple who wants to make sure that their spouse is taken care of. So usually it's people who have new life events from death to birth to marriage. That's who my clients are typically who have drawn to me from that. But everybody can use it. And so that's that.
Awesome. So how can what's some of the questions that normally people ask about insurance that you can kind of share with us tonight? So what's some things that anytime somebody's having these life events, what's one or two of the top questions that you normally get that you can share some tips or how we can prepare when we get ready to go talk to someone like you because we've had these life events?
Right. So they asked about the beneficiary, like, am I going to pay all this money and my beneficiary never gets it? And the thing is, unlike car insurance, you can pay until you die and you don't ever get a benefit from it. And so what I like to advise my customers is that, yes, your beneficiary will always get the benefit. And what most people don't know is that the death benefit on a life insurance policy is tax-free. So the government does not tax a death benefit for life insurance. So that's like the top question, from that. And then they'll be like, well, what you need my social security number for is because we have a lot of Carol Joneses or Diane Philippi's or whatever. And we want to get the correct person paid out because it is a lot of identity theft and everything else there too. So it's not only to protect you, but protect your loved ones for getting their funds.
What are some of the things that we need to maybe ask when we're looking to research or find or connect to somebody like yourself? What are some questions that we need to be asking, the agent, the representative, to kind of help us feel more secure, maybe that we can trust them with those things, like you said, making sure that the beneficiary does get paid, the one that I want to get paid, and maybe nobody
Okay.
can go change it, or any of those things. Because I
Mm-hmm.
know giving your social security number is, that's you try to protect that. So what's some things that they can ask to kind of make them feel a little bit more secure in who they when they
Absolutely.
choose you?
So I'm licensed with the state. I'm actually licensed with here and Florida right now. I'm working on licensings in other states as well. So you can always go into the insurance commissioner website and get that information. I can give you my agent number. You can see that I am licensed to do that. What you will also know when you are a licensed agent and you look that agent up, you can tell that they ask, North Carolina asks, have you ever been a felon? Have you ever committed any kind of crimes? So you would
Wow.
know that we're not someone out to get you, that is very much regulated by the state, and that your money, every transaction, whatever
Okay.
goes, has to come. But most definitely, I would say, don't trust everyone asking for their insurance producer number or their agent number. Call the carriers and ask, hey, is this person affiliated with you? But the Insurance Commission, Department of Insurance for your area has every agent, every life insurance agency that is legitimate on their website.
Okay, awesome. So that's some great tips. So number one, we have to give you the social security number, because it could be multiple people that share the same names, or we could be juniors or seconds or thirds. And we just want to ensure that we got attaching the policies to the right person. You can
Correct.
ask for their information and look them up and kind of do your own research on the agent to ensure that, you feel like they are legitimate, and, you can trust them with making sure that your family is protected during the life events. That is awesome. Good stuff. And you're licensed in North Carolina and soon to be in Florida?
No,
Is
North
that correct?
Carolina and Florida already. I'm just
Okay.
waiting. Atlanta, well, not Atlanta, Georgia, because
Okay.
I'm in Atlanta. My brother's in Atlanta, but
Okay.
in Georgia and Virginia, Tennessee, and South Carolina. So right now I'm working on the bordering states, so that if I visit, I have family there and also be able to service there. So also I'm looking to build my website so that you can go to my website and I can have like a virtual one-on-one call, especially with COVID. People are so scary about people coming into your house and knocking
Right.
doors. So having a website so that I can have that business online and have that rapport with my customers.
Absolutely. What made you decide to go into this line of work?
Well, I just was looking for a career change to begin with. And so it sort of kind of fell in my lap. And then once I started learning more and more about it, it became very interesting to me. When I was working at Lincoln Financial, I was from customer service to the back end of claims, and claims really made me like, hey, now I'm learning more about how this insurance works. So I wanted to know the front portion of it. So that's when I obtained my life insurance license and started doing it from there. But what really made me be more passionate about it now is just seeing so many of our African-American men being murdered and killed, and from COVID deaths and everything within the last year. And our people don't have insurance. You see the GoFundMes and everything else. And it's sad because as little as from $10 to $20, just depending on what your family needs, you can get life insurance. It's really not that expensive. And it's something very important to have, because what people don't understand is very selfish to leave that burden on your family, not knowing what they're going to do next, if their house is going to be able to be kept, or cars, or what have you. So that was the major push last year, when just so many deaths and just seeing so many killings, and people just don't have any life insurance and have been struggling financially.
Awesome. Thank you. So listen up, everyone. If you had a life event, you're a new parent, somebody just passed away, you're newly married, you need to reach out to Miss Kenya so she can talk to you about the options, what you can do, what you can start doing now. Like she said, it can start at $10, maybe up to $20, just depending on what you need. And she can get you into the get you to a place where you have something set up so that you don't have to have that burden. Maybe bury the burden is not the right word, right term, but do you happen to know what the average funeral cost is?
Right now it's between $8,000 to $10,000, and that's pretty much just basic. So it can vary from place to place. And so you can just get a simple policy. You don't have to have a life insurance policy to get rich. It's just to make sure that you're taking care of that family member when they're passing away, that you don't have, not everybody has $8,000 to $10,000 laying around to take care of them. So 8 to 10, and I think cremation was ranging between 6 to 10. It really just depends on each care.
I'm glad you brought up cremation, because that was gonna be my next thing. I'm like, why can't we just burn them up, right? What does that look like? I'm not trying to be mean, guys. I'm just saying.
Even a process to burn them up.
They want to know what that option is like, because like she said, everybody don't necessarily have $8,000 to $10,000 just sitting around, when something like this happens. So definitely being prepared, and Miss Kenya can definitely help you with that. So how can they connect with you and learn more about if they're in the need of this service, life insurance, and how can they connect?
Absolutely. So you can find me on Facebook. Kenya Renee is my Facebook page, or you can reach me online. I do have my webpage already set up. It's jjntfinancialsolutions.com. So you can find me there to get that information. There's a question box where you can put questions there, send it to me. You can set up an appointment so that we can do a free consultation just to figure out what your needs are, what you're looking to do, what life events you had, and everything, and go from there.
Awesome. So you make sure you connect with her on social media at Kenya Renee, or go to her website at www.jjntfinancialsolutions.com. Fill out the questionnaire, and then she can let you know about what she has. It doesn't cost you anything just to find out and get the information. So make sure you take a full advantage of that. So in true live Q&A fashion, what question can I answer for you tonight?
Well, we're talking about people, and business is mostly people. And so my question is, how can I increase or get in front of a different audience, or my network, increase my network of people to reach different people for business?
Okay. So tell me currently what you're doing to increase your network.
Well, I have business cards. I might see people there. I might reach out and send condolences, hey, if you need my help, go from there. But a lot of it is just word of mouth. Hey, this is, such and such, and this is what they do. But let's be real. Who wants to hear about death on Facebook? So who wants to hear about financial planning on Facebook? So it's really hard in this industry to really find people who are interested in that, especially the younger crowd. And they're the ones who need it most these days lately. So that's the major thing. It's just really getting in front of an audience to be able to say, hey, this is a need, not just a want, but a need. And let's sit down and talk about what options I can give for you.
Absolutely. So what are some other businesses that you can connect with that, kind of deal with people that have life events?
Well, I can like wedding coordinators. I can do like real estate agents where people are buying homes and they want to protect their homes and things. Let's see. Divorce attorneys.
Okay. We're getting a list together here. I see.
Right.
Divorce attorney. Okay.
Let's see. I don't know. I mean, people who just had babies, and maybe doctors' offices there, just having pamphlets, information there. You have, Parenthood, Planned Parenthood. Why not have a planned life event protection there? I'm not sure, but some of those places.
Okay. So let's talk about that. So, increasing your network. So of course I asked you what's some other individuals that deal with life events, right? So you came up with a good a good list of people. You said wedding coordinators, real estate agents, divorce attorneys, doctor offices, maybe even Planned Parenthood. And then you even talked about maybe you have an event. So let's talk about that a little bit. Say you could, let's just pick one of these, right? Let's say you say, you know what, I'm going to deal with wedding coordinators, right? Maybe I'll start reaching out to wedding coordinators and having what I call a connection chat and getting to know them, sharing about my business, sharing, learning more about their business. And then maybe there's an opportunity that, they're going to the wedding coordinator for resources, right? So you making that connection with them, it could be an opportunity that when that couple is inquiring, or that wedding coordinator say, I don't know, you might not have thought about this, but some of the things that, like when I first got married, the first thing I was doing was changing beneficiaries, right? I was like, I got to make sure my name is on all the things, sir.
Exactly.
So, maybe the wedding coordinator, can say, you change your name, but also make sure that you're the beneficiary on his things, and vice versa too, right? You want to make sure the husband is on the beneficiary on your stuff as well. You don't want to get to the end and then mama get it, or an ex get it, or any of those things. That's just real, right?
Exactly.
You at the bed, but then somebody come out the blue and they name was up there, and now wait. When we could have had a conversation and got it all rectified early, right?
Right.
So I think definitely, to increase your network, let's start with these people. Who do you know that's already a wedding coordinator that you can connect with? Who do you know that's already a real estate agent? You don't have to have a 10, 15, right? Just think about who you already know that's a wedding coordinator and have that conversation. Who do you already know that's a real estate agent? Do you know a do you know a divorce attorney, right? And
right.
then a doctor office. Hold on, Leslie just said, nah, the first thing to do is learn how to be married. Leslie, I'm not going to deny that, but I'm about my cash and I'm going to make sure I'm the beneficiary. So I'm not saying what you saying ain't right, but I'm also tell my people, make sure your name on stuff, because I know too many wives that got to the end and they name won't on it. So no disrespect to you, Leslie. I love you. but yes, we do need to learn how to be married, but we also need to look at financial documents and make sure that we're secure in the situation. Hi, Isha. Hi, Jane. Thank y'all for joining us. So, but yeah, reach out to those individuals, right? Have a connection with those divorce attorneys if you know any, right? Real estate agents may know some,
right?
They sell and buy, you never know. And then have those conversations and say, hey, I want to be referral partners to you. People have life events and they're looking for houses. They may be getting married and they reach out. They may even talk to me before they get married. They may be looking for a wedding coordinator. Leslie says, so y'all won't be divorced before y'all ever need a beneficiary. Well, if I get divorced, I'm gonna be beneficiary. But yes, right. So I would say, to increase your network, let's start with the people that you talked about. Have a conversation with them. Talk about how y'all can support each other and possibly be referral partners. And then that, plan life event or having some kind of virtual event around that. I think that's a great idea. You know what I mean? To bring people to you that maybe haven't even thought about it, right? But at least you can kind of inform and educate them on it. And then when they are ready or they have that life event or know someone, you are the go-to for them.
Right. Exactly. I like that idea. I didn't even think about doing that.
Yes.
You see it, but then you don't see it, so yeah.
Right. And that's just another way for you to stand out, right? Because you're right. No one's necessarily talking about planning for those life events in that way, but it needs to be talked about. It's not something that we need to sweep on the rug. It's not something we need to shy away from. All the wedding things is great and dandy and all the beautiful things, but let's get to business.
It's a business. You have to maintain business. So
right. Absolutely. So yeah, that's not something I shy away from at all. I got straight to business. I was changing names and I was changing beneficiaries at the same time.
Exactly.
Getting on all the bank accounts, all the things. Okay. I ain't thinking y'all should take my advice. All I'm saying is that's how I did it. I changed my
That's how
name. I'm gonna make sure everything else is official.
absolutely.
And on his part too, I changed all my stuff on for him as well. So don't think I just made sure I was on his stuff, but he was not on mine. I made sure he was on mine too, because he wasn't thinking about that. Of course, he was in wedding bliss. Wonderful,
Exactly.
great. But I made sure he was on my stuff too. And he had, he had the keys to the city. He knew where everything was. Something go down.
Right.
and he knew what I wanted. and he knew what I wanted. So, do you feel you're clear on how you can increase your network and get a family crowd?
Very much so. Yes.
Do you feel confident in the next step you need to take?
I'm confident in the next step I need to take.
Awesome. Now, do you think you can go get the cash so God gets the glory?
Absolutely, girl.
Yes. I've done my job. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much, Kenya. I truly, truly appreciate your honesty and you educating us and just being real about this whole life insurance situation, right? When we have these life events and how important it is to be prepared. Because you're right, $8,000 to $10,000 ain't no drop in the hat. You know what I mean? And nobody ain't necessarily got to sitting around. And how many of us are tired of the GoFundMes, right? Not that we're not empathetic, but we got our own stuff going on.
We got our own stuff going on.
Leslie said, y'all so cute. Jane says, good job. Thank you so much. One more time, Miss Kenya, please let them know how they can connect with you and how, if they do not have those things in order, how they can have a conversation with you and see how you can support them there.
Yes. So you can find me on my Facebook page, Kenya Renee, KenyaRenee, or you can contact me on jjtfinancialsolutions.com. And you can send information there, ask me questions there, and my telephone number is located there as well.
Awesome. Thank you guys for joining us for another weekly live Q&A where our featured member was Miss Kenya Renee. Please connect with her, support her. If you do know wedding coordinators, real estate agents, or divorce attorneys, please connect them to Miss Kenya Renee so that they can support each other as these people experience these life events and make sure that they're protected when something does happen. All right, till the next time, be profitable and be blessed. Bye for now.
Bye.